What's this thing over here collecting dust for?
Ooh. You are now listening to the Collecting Dust Podcast, your weekly escape for all things hobby and collecting. Ladies and gentlemen, hobbyists, collectors, enthusiasts, welcome back to episode 4 of the Collecting Dust Podcast. We got a banger for you today, a banger for you this week. Welcome to Hot Collector Summer, honestly. We got a few announcements today, and then after the announcements, we will get into the rest of the show. No interview today. As for announcements, this week's episode is sponsored by Anchor. Thank you, Anchor, so much for sponsoring the episode. You will hear an ad read after the announcements. So that's fantastic. If you want to be a part of the show, you want to write in, tell me a funny story, you want to swap audiences potentially with a interview or anything like that, you can contact the wife and I at cancelledcultproductions@gmail.com. And while you're on the internet, browsing around at different social medias and stuff that we might have, you can find us over on Facebook right now at facebook.com/cancelledcult, or you can search at cancelledcult over there. We also have an announcement. The winner for the Battle Styles ETB is none other than, let me find it here, build suspense. Drum roll, please. The winner of the Battle Styles ETB is one Adam Forkner. I believe that's how you say it. Adam is he's a good guy. He hangs out at Already Ben Slinky's channel a lot at the live streams and things like that. Threw his name in the hat, pulled it out. So Adam Forkner, if I'm saying that correct, you are the winner of the Battle Styles ETB, so go ahead and contact us. You can ping me in Slinky's Discord channel, or you can send an email to cancelledcultproductions@gmail.com. Congratulations, sir. It is also Pride Month, so congratulations, and we'll be celebrating all of our LGBTQ listeners, potentially, and any collectors out there that might be a part of that community. We welcome you here as well. So, happy Pride Month. That is fantastic. So, yes, I think that is pretty much all. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Let's see. You are hearing this on Monday. Not this Tuesday. Actually, yes, let's do it. This Tuesday, tomorrow, you're listening to this on Monday. Tomorrow, you will be able to find the first episode of Suspiracy on all major podcast platforms and on YouTube. If you go to the search bar on YouTube and search Canceled Cult Productions, you will find it over there. Episode 1, it's not, you can tell it's our first episode, right? We recorded it in the kitchen. Well, not in the kitchen, but in the dining room, which is kind of tinny. There's a lot of reverb in there, so I tried to edit out as much as I could. For the next episode, we are going to maybe put some blankets on the floor, try to find another way of soundproofing, maybe record somewhere else. But it was a little bit tinny. And also, it's my wife's first time speaking on the internet, so show her some love. It was pretty good. It might take a little while for us to find a flow of the show, but it was really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you go check that out, Suspiracy, on all major podcast platforms, or on YouTube.com, if you search Canceled Cult Productions, you'll find it over there. Tuesday, probably 10 a.m., let's call it. So that is the announcements for this week. And we will go ahead and play this ad read from Anchor. Thank you again to Anchor for sponsoring the episode. And then we will move on over to weekly pickups. So let's go. So she was like, what is this charge on the credit card for $300? And I'm like, bro, that's weekly pickups. All right, we actually have quite a few for the weekly pickups this week. Starting it off with a Pennywise Funko Soda. My second Funko Soda I ever got, but also a third Harley Quinn Funko Soda. That's a 12,500 piece. Pennywise is 20,000. Unfortunately, we got the commons for both, but they're still pretty sweet little figures there. So we're gonna have them displayed up here on the shelf above me. You can't really see it in the shot, and if you're just listening, I don't know how or why you would have thought you could have saw them in the first place. So we got a couple sodas. I do also have a Bob Ross. I hope we get the chase for that. The flocked afro, you can't go wrong with it. We have a Funko Soda Bob Ross coming, and Cowbella, Disney. I'm not sure. She's an 8,000 piece though, and we got her for $12.74 on FYE. FYE is fantastic. So we got that, and let me think. As for trading cards, actually no trading card pickups this week. I did find a tin of Shining Fates at the store, but I actually passed on it. I'm kind of falling out of the Pokemon phase, man. At least until we can kind of get it turned around and things start becoming more readily available. I just don't have the motivation to collect, and it's a bummer because it was one of my favorite things. It is one of my favorite things, but I just have a lack of motivation for it. So we'll hop over to Funko Pop pickups. Now, a majority of these are mine. Last week it was the wife's. She went on a little Funko spending spree, but this week I went on the spending spree. So the first thing that we picked up was the Target exclusive Homelander from The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys, highly recommend. Fantastic show. R-rated though, I believe. For adults, so if you're a child, get your parents' permission. My wife did pick up this other one here. It is, if y'all remember, the Furbies from back in the day. We got Furby Tiger from Target as well. It's not a Target exclusive, but kind of cool. I remember back in the day, a lot of people thought that these Furbies were Russian spies, right? They were just spying. And then the final one that I picked up from Target this week was the Avengers Mech Strike Black Panther, the Target exclusive that glows in the dark. This one over the original, I think, is doing quite a bit better in terms of value-wise. I think it's sitting right around $21. So it was a good one. At the comic book shop, I picked up a classic from the Office Space, movie, Sticky Note Man. It is a Think Geek exclusive, which I don't even think Geek is its own thing anymore. I'm pretty sure GameStop sucked them up, and then now they don't even have their own website or nothing. So that sticker on there actually made this guy a really good pickup. I got him for $16. He is a 2019 exclusive, it looks like, but he was $16, and I want to say that the Funko Shop PPG had him for $31, something like that. So almost a quick double up. And then I picked up, of course, we talked about this last week because we got U.S. Agent. I had to pick up at GameStop Falcon from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Fantastic show. If you still haven't seen it between last week's episode and this week, it's a 6-episode run, man. If you haven't seen it, you could have done it twice, 3 times even. And then the final pop that we have, which I'm going to show this to you now because I think the video will be out at the same time or before the podcast drops. I got a mystery box from Chrono Toys, and it was an exclusive guarantee, like exclusive chase special edition, no commons. It was a $20 mystery box plus like $5 shipping. It cost me $24.98, I believe, or $24.97. And we pulled the Notorious B.I.G. from the Toy Tokyo exclusive. It is a gold chrome. And it is pretty sweet. 20th anniversary of Toy Tokyo. $30 pop, so guaranteed value, of course. But he is fantastic. We got him in a Funko protector. He did not come in one. But usually anything over like $20, $25 I like to throw into a protector. I believe that is pretty much all the pickups that we got this week. I'm trying to think. We got the sodas, we got the pops. It's not really a hobby, but it kind of is in the aspect that we're doing it. We are beginning to do. We've lived in our home now, in our house here, for a year. In about 2 weeks, it'll be a year we've been living here, and we haven't really done any updates to the house. The house was built in the 1920s, and we had a bunch of projects that we wanted to do, but never just got around to doing it. So this last week here on Monday, we started doing the kitchen. We're going to start with the kitchen. It wasn't terrible. There was just linoleum floor. I mean, it's an old house. It wasn't terrible. It was still decent looking, for the age of the house, which I don't think they put the linoleum in there in the 20s, but regardless, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great. It wasn't modern, per se. So we started retiling the kitchen just with vinyl tiles, stick-on vinyl tiles, just to kind of give an updated look to it, and it's turning out really good. Should have that finished up this weekend. So, like I said, not really a hobby, but in the way that we're doing it, we're not professionals. It's just kind kind of a hobbyist way to do things. So, yeah, we did that. Like I said, no trading card pickups this week. Hopefully some more Flesh and Blood stuff coming. I also want to get back into Magic really bad. But anyways, that is weekly pickups for this week. And now I'm going to play you guys the sound bed as we hop on over to the Heinous Hobbies. Heinous Hobbies. I love it. I love it. I made all these sound beds on like Sunday or something, last Sunday. And it's super unprofessional, and I just don't know anything about sound design, so I was super excited to try to make something, and I think it gets the point across. You would have heard one for weekly pickups as well. We have one for the random rant/interview section, which I don't have an interview today, so I'm going to have to think of something to rant about or just talk about. But anyways, that's not what you're here for today. You're here for Heinous Hobbies. So we will pop on over to which article do we want to start with? Let's start with this guy right here. Can I, for the YouTube viewers, move my camera so it doesn't interfere with this? So this article here we have is Beckett suspends most grading services as of June 7th. If you remember, PSA has also done the same thing now. And PSA isn't even coming back up till July. So now we have overwhelmed with orders. Beckett Grading Service will temporarily stop accepting most trading card submissions next week. Like its competitor PSA, Dallas-based Beckett has a backlog of ungraded cards that is so large that collectors and dealers have been waiting months for orders that used to be completed in a couple of weeks. Beckett Collectibles president Jeremy Murray says all grading submissions other than premium level service will be suspended after Monday, June 7th. And this is exactly where PSA is right now, right? I can only hope that this doesn't happen to CGC because CGC is my grader of choice. All orders that are submitted under the Express, Standard, and Economy level will be returned to the customer ungraded. So yeah, I really hope that doesn't happen with CGC because I have 70 cards at CGC right now that have been there for 3 months. The reason behind the decision is simply to allow us to focus on the growing backlog we have and to get as many cards back to customers as possible before the national. This is not ideal for anyone, but something our competitor has done. That doesn't make it any better, in my opinion. Beckett's premium level service costs $250 per card, or $150 without subgrades being assigned. So there you go. Basically, are they trying to? You know what? We might save that for the rant. We might save that for the rant. All right. So there you go. Beckett is suspending all services except for premium as of June 7th. So there's that. We'll hop on over to the next story here. eBay updates bidding policy for trading cards amid the craze. As Pokemon and sports cards continue to sell like crazy, eBay has updated its bidding policy to protect sellers. That's banana bonkers to me, right? Because eBay is usually not for the seller; they're usually always for the buyer. So that's awesome. As trading cards of all types continue to be a hot commodity, eBay has updated its bid retraction policy as it relates to trading cards starting on June 30th. People will no longer be able to retract a bid for a trading card without permission from the seller. Cool. This comes as trading cards of all types have a massive influx in sales in recent months. Pokemon, MLB, NFL, and NBA cards have all seen a rise in popularity, even prompting Target to stop selling cards in stores. And we talked about that in episode 1. eBay has become a popular place to buy and sell cards since people can sell any rare cards they pull for a markup. Something people even did with the McDonald's Pokemon cards back in February. That's true. The updated policy removes the ability for people to retract bids on trading cards without the seller's permission. Fantastic. Starting on June 30th, if you want to retract an auction bid, you'll need to contact the seller via messaging on eBay and request a retraction. The seller, at their sole discretion, will be able to accept or decline your retraction request. Fantastic, eBay. Finally doing something for the seller. Fantastic. I love it. That's great. Under the new policy, if a person places a bid on a trading card and the seller refuses to reject the bid, the person will be required to pay for the card if they win the auction. If the item goes unpaid by the 5th calendar day, the seller can cancel the sale, and the would-be buyer's account may be punished. While eBay did not state why this change was being made, it seems that the change is aimed at preventing people from making bids to drive up the price of cards and then canceling their bid after the fact. eBay, doing the Lord's work. We appreciate your support and willingness to work with this new policy as we anticipate our trading card policy update will make eBay a more trusted and fairer marketplace for all. And that is what eBay wrote. Yeah, I love it. This is good because people are artificially jacking up prices of cards, other collectibles, and stuff. Keep it this way forever. Sorry, I need to adjust myself here as we get to the final story. And none of these are particularly heinous, but because we talked about this in episode 1, I figured it'd only be fitting that we pop back in on episode 4 to close out the trilogy, if you could even call it that. Get this. Target reverses drastic decision on selling Pokemon cards amid Scalper Crisis. What? Popular retailer Target has announced that it will start carrying Pokemon trading card items again. The store reversed its decision made in May to ban Pokemon cards after a wave of problems with scalpers. The Pokemon community was stunned in May 2021 when Target revealed that it would be pulling Pokemon cards off shelves due to scalpers. The retail giant made the decision after becoming overwhelmed by resellers flooding their stores. On June 2nd, however, the company announced on Twitter that it would be reversing the shocking decision, although according to their statement, their section of the TCG collectibles may be much more limited than it used to be. So in a surprising announcement on Twitter, Target's official support account announced that a major retail chain would start carrying Pokemon cards again as soon as June 1st, 2021. Stores will resume selling Pokemon cards, select Pokemon trading cards, the week of June 1st. Pokemon trading cards can be sold 7 days per week and will have a limit of 2 items per guest, the account responded to a customer. The move comes as a surprise, as it appears that the company is also reversing its April policy of only selling TCG collectibles on Fridays. Based on the wording, it's also unclear if select items means stores will stock fewer products than they did previously. That would make sense. At the time of writing, Target has yet to release a full statement on the situation, so we only have the support account to go off of. It wasn't made clear if this was going to be a nationwide policy impacting all stores or only select locations. The retailer has faced major problems with scalpers over the last 3 months, so has the entire collectible market, not just cards. What are you crying about? In March, Target had made a move to only sell Pokemon cards on Fridays due to sellers causing chaos in the stores. In May, they even instituted a policy to call the police on the TCG collectors camping out front of the retail locations. Many fans reported incidents, why did you jump up there? Where scalpers would even resort to violence and stampede other customers. So that's probably referring to the story where, someone got a gun pulled on them and got beat up, and also the Walmart thing where people were stampeding across. That's crazy. It's unclear how the major retailer plans to address the ongoing issue now. They are reportedly going back to selling TCG items again 7 days a week. So, yeah, dude. There's a couple of things that I want to speak on when it comes to that, but I think we will probably just save it for now, and we will take care of that whole portion in the upcoming interview/random, which I am now calling Hobby. Nice to meet you. And then, again, closing out with a funny story, bro. I don't know if we can, right? If you have a funny collecting story or just a funny story you want told, go ahead and send an email to cancelledcultproductions@gmail.com if you want it read on air, and we will put it in the podcast if we think it's funny enough. You can go ahead and do that. So I'll play the sound bed for the interview/random, a.k.a. Hobby. Nice to meet you. Ooh, Hobby. Nice to meet you.
Let's be quiet.
Yeah, of course. I didn't mean... I was going to go talk to my friends anyway, so... Whatever. Ooh, Hobby. Nice to meet you. Yeah, man, I love that sound bed. It's silly, but there is no interview today, like I mentioned. But I do want to discuss a couple of these things that we talked about when it comes to the Target situation and the Beckett situation. Just kind of providing a little more thoughts on that sort of thing, right? So I kind of want to start with Beckett and PSA in general. What is this? Right? Reading on CGC's website, it looks like they're hiring more people to try to combat this issue of there just not being enough employees and too many cards to grade. The problem is that no matter how many employees you have, there's always going to be this backlog, right? So why are you sending cards back to collectors to try to to try to catch up? When you could just continue to go. I mean, PSA, again, I don't know why PSA did this either, but I'm not super well versed in the whole scenario / situation, but why send back the cards? People are just going to continue to send in cards, right? You're going to continue to grade cards no matter what. So why not just keep them, grade them as you go? There were people from PSA waiting for a year to get their cards back. And while it's not ideal, at least they know that their cards are being graded, and at some point they're going to come back in a graded state. When it comes to cases like this, where they're now suspending their services, I find it highly odd that they would just completely altogether suspend it, although I don't know for sure if PSA sent back all the cards that were there, like Beckett is. That's bananas to me. That's weird. You're sending everything back. Why not just stop taking in new submissions and get rid of this backlog? Why are you sending everything back? And if you're sending everything back, are you going to pay shipping back and also refund all the fees? That's something that I want to know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's just super weird to me. But I guess that's just the world that we're living in. That's just the world that we're living in. I would assume that they would pay to ship everything back, and they would also refund all the fees and everything associated with it. But I just don't understand why you don't just suspend all services and then continue on with the services that you were providing to those people that already submitted, right? Because if I send out my cards to CGC and I sent my cards out 3 months ago and they're still in the received state, if I were to suddenly just get those back ungraded as I sent them, I'm going to be pretty upset, right? Because I was without them for so long that if they were to just come back to me with no services provided, I mean, I've already made it this far, right? I've already made it this far. So why not just suspend the services and then clear out the log? That doesn't make much sense to me. But again, maybe I'm just not well versed enough in the situation to comment on it. As for the Target thing, also is like, are Beckett and PSA like trying to fight Junk Slab Era? Is that what they are? Look, I don't think there's any such thing as Junk Slab Era, right? I think cards are worth what people will pay for them in a graded state. I think raw cards should have value. Graded cards should have value. Sealed products shouldn't have value over retail unless it's out of print. But my whole thing is that everybody's grading everything right now, right? Every single thing is getting graded. Commons, uncommons, normal rares, normal hollows, ultra rares, secret rares, etc. Everything is getting graded right now. But who cares? Is this like CGC or Beckett and PSA's way of trying to combat Junk Slab Era? Because if people are buying those cards, I don't care what people like Squeaks Game World or anybody else say. And I respect Squeaks and I like Squeaks, but I don't care what he says about Junk Slab Era, where he goes through and looks at PWCC and says, well, why did this Evolution Surfing Pikachu sell for $120? Because somebody was willing to pay. It's not worth that. It's worth that to somebody, otherwise it wouldn't have sold. So that doesn't make any sense. There is no such thing as Junk Slab Era. If people are buying them, it is what it is. Now, eventually, these slabs are going to have nowhere to go. But also there's just people out there like me who don't want to sell all their cards. And I have like a really cool, like rare hollow Rayquaza that might only be worth like 25 cents, but I wanted it encapsulated and immortalized because I like the look of it. I think it's cool. And if I want it in my personal collection to display it or anything like that, I want it to be encapsulated. I don't know. That's just maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm different. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe I just see it different than anybody else, but that's the way I look at it. So I don't know, but it's goofy. Moving on to the whole Target thing, right? Target reversing drastic decision on selling Pokemon cards amid the Scalper Crisis. We're still in a Scalper Crisis. I do hear a lot of people saying that the market is crashing. We're in a bubble. It's going to explode. Look, we're not in a bubble. We've never been in a bubble. Now, I don't support scalping. I don't support people buying out the stores and selling the sealed product that is still massively in print for 3 or 4 times the price. I do not support it. Scalpers can go away. I absolutely do not. I do not support that whatsoever. But as I mentioned before, yes, I think raw cards, rare raw cards should have value. Graded cards should have value. The collection should have value, right? It always has since the beginning of time. Since 1998, the original base set Pokemon cards, etc. And this goes for Magic and all the other stuff too. But I just know Pokemon better, so that's why I'm referring it to that. But Magic hasn't seen this scalping thing. There's always Magic product in Target, always. And I think that's banana bonkers that Pokemon can't keep up, and Magic is all over the place, all over. But yeah, we're not in a bubble. This isn't going to happen, and we're going to retrace back to what it was, perhaps at some point. And it certainly has regressed from where it was when the whole Logan Paul thing took off and everything started shooting up. But as for 100% crashing, don't sell your cards yet, because I just don't feel like this is going to end anytime soon, right? But yeah, I think Target is going back on their not selling Pokemon cards anymore. Why? If you stand by scalpers being a problem, why do this? Why not go back to online? Is it creating some sort of, I don't know, some sort of like just a bad situation for yourself? I don't understand why you would just all of a sudden stop selling Pokemon cards because of the scalpers, and then all of a sudden they're coming back when you've had all these problems. You've had people pulling guns on people beating each other up, people stampeding people getting around your rule of 2 per customer. Even I've done it when I've wanted 4 booster packs, and I would just go in, buy it, leave, come back to the register with 2 more, and check out. Your policies just don't work. Your policies just don't work. And scalpers are terrible. Man, they are. They actually are. It's gotten so bad. Scalping has gotten so bad. Not only do like the Facebook groups that I'm a part of just like completely support it, right? And most of these groups that I'm a part of are started by online retailers, mostly small ones, so they kind of get away with doing the whole scalping themselves kind of thing. But it's a massive problem. It's a massive problem to the point where even like people that I would used to go to buy Vivid Voltage, like an online retailer that I would go to buy my booster boxes, and I would go to their breaks, I've stopped buying from them. Why? Because they're scalping themselves. They're scalping themselves. Even my comic book shop is selling it aftermarket. What? Brother? Are you kidding me? It's crazy. You walk in there and you see a Shining Fates ETB for $120, which is way over the aftermarket price on them right now anyways. And it's gross, right? And I've talked to the guy who was the online retailer that I used to go to his breaks and I used to buy booster boxes from all the time. Vivid Voltage, so it wasn't that long ago. And he goes, well, we gotta keep the lights on. I gotta make the money. It's like, bro, shut up. Same thing with the comic book shop. I've asked them too. It's like, oh, this is just the current market. This is what we have to sell them for. No, you don't. You can sell them for retail, bro. And the thing that upsets me the most about it, or pisses me off the most about it, is that I'm a retailer. I have a business license. I have a tax ID. I have a reseller certificate. I work with distribution. I don't want to log into my distributor, but I most certainly could and pull it up on the other screen and show you. I have Funko sodas on the way from the distributor that I pre-ordered for Funko Ween stuff. I've gotten Battle Styles. That's where the ETB that Adam won in this episode came from. I work in this space. I'm an IT person, but on the side, I have the option to do this if I want, and I can get on and I can get product. When people tell you that they have to sell it at this price because they're paying more, right? Oh, I'm paying more, so now you have to pay more. And it's the same thing in the graphics card space and the computer space. When people that work in these retailers are charging asinine amounts of money and they say, oh, I have to charge this because it costs me more now. No, it doesn't. These people are lying. Everybody is lying to you. This is not, that's not how it works, first and foremost. The distributor pricing doesn't go up that much in something like this. Just as a little FU to the people that do this, let me tell you what me, a single person, like a single person operation, can get them for versus somebody that's spending $20,000 a month with the distribution and what they can get. Okay? Because I have it pulled up on my screen here. I ordered those Battle Styles ETBs. Me, again, single person, and the whole order was $400. Okay? And I can't even, hold on. Okay. The pricing for the ETBs are $25. $25 is what it cost me to buy an ETB from a distributor. And if I were to sell it at retail at $40, that's a $15 profit. Then obviously you got to take fees and, have the customer pay for shipping and all this and that. But the Battle Styles booster boxes I got for $81 a box. Chilling Reign, same thing. $25 for an ETB, $81 for a box. Now, the more that you buy, that price goes down. It doesn't cost these people anything extra. And if that's what they're saying, they are 1,000% lying to you. I, as a single-person operation, can get booster boxes for Pokemon for $81 a box. I can get the non-special edition ETBs for $25 a box. Shining Fates boxes, ETBs, $35 because they retail for $50. $35. Not even messing around. So it's not that they're paying more to get the product because they aren't. They're paying less than I would pay. Because these people that are spending like $20,000 a month are they're buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ETBs. If I were to buy 6 ETBs, the price that I would pay would go down by like $1. So if you're buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxes, the price goes down significantly. People are lying. They're straight up lying, saying that they're paying more. They just have the money bags in their eyes. The emoji with the dollar signs. That's these people. And I'll call them out. I'll happily call them out because I think it's wrong. When I was big into the Pokemon stuff and I was running my shop online and doing breaks and everything, I refused to sell any box or any pack for over retail. I sold my Pokemon packs for breaks at $3.99 or $4 even for a pack. And you got to keep the whole pack. None of this bullshit where you only got like the hits. You got to keep the whole pack. Why? Because you also paid for shipping. So it was like $3 to ship plus $4. So it was like $7 a pack, but the shipping doesn't come to me directly. So yeah, you gotta keep everything. And, you'd get the whole pack for retail. When it came to ETBs, same thing. $49.99 on the website. Booster boxes, usually $120, but never above $144, which is the suggested retail price of a booster box. I would never do it. And this whole thing started with the scalping market. That's just facts. There's nothing that can refute that evidence. This would have never happened had the production went down, right? Because they weren't able to produce as much. And all the people from the streetwear and from, everywhere, all the other resale markets saw Pokemon and started buying, started selling. And then for some reason, the retailers that aren't the huge chains decided that they wanted to follow suit and be disgusting as well. There is no reason that these boxes from retailers should be costing that much, as mentioned. $25 for an ETB, $81 for a booster box. And if anybody tells you different, tell them to send me an email, because I would be curious to speak to these people. I would be 100% curious to speak to these people. Anyway, guys, that was just a little rant today. Again, don't really have a funny story to close it out. So if you have a funny story, why don't you go ahead and email us over at cancelledcultproductions@gmail.com. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I think it was a pretty decent episode and a good episode 4. Congratulations to Adam Forkner. Happy Pride Month, and I will see you guys next Monday. Take care.